Alright everyone, welcome back for another TNR video. We're on week 2 of our summer series here at Kate's Park, Weyahwichin. I've got Mike commentating and I've got a special guest, Jack Morros, our video guy, is jumping in.
Well, thanks for having me.
We've got had a bit of a quieter race. This is always the week of the summer where everyone's down to the gorge for the gorge race. So a little bit of a lighter turnout this week as expected, but still some great racing action.
Yeah. For some context, I know very little about this sport, so might be asking some dumb questions here. Where was everyone else who wasn't here this week?
They're down in Oregon. So the Columbia River Gorge is a big paddle fest, and it's all downwinding. Kind of the most fun you can have in a sup and a surf ski for the most part is getting on these downwind runs, and the gorge is one of the best spots in North America, maybe the world even, for downwind paddling.
So a lot of surf skis out there, I'm assuming? Or?
Lots of surf skis, outriggers, a few sups, and then all the foil sports are starting to take over a lot too. So lots of wings and foils down there.
Got it. They're a lot more spread out here than in Deep Cove. Any reason why that might be?
I think it's just the way the start line goes. In some of our courses, we have, our short course goes left and the long course goes right, so it's a little more, and just the start line doesn't have that containment like we do in the Cove. I did hear it was definitely a lumpier day. You can see them, our lead pack on the sups bouncing over waves. There's Tommy, good brace.
So is there different boards that are more stable in these waves? They're better for these conditions? Or?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously the width makes a big difference, but you'll see a lot of the guys on these dugout boards where they're kind of standing in the boards. And those boards with the higher side rails tend to, once you get used to them, tend to be a little more adaptive to those waves, a little more forgiving. It also depends who's paddling.
Yeah, so pretty spread out here still.
Yep, still spread out for sure. And then, a lot of the surf ski guys who do tend to pack up are the ones who are down in the gorge right now, so that might make a difference too.
Yeah, it was weird not seeing Seth out in front there.
I think as we're recording this, I think their race is actually going on right now, so we'll have to check those results. Yeah, great drone shots here. We've got our OC, there's that James in the V1, I think there. So yeah, with the different group, I think that's Shane out front leading the way. Oh, we got a big brace from the K2. Well, what happened there? A little bit of a bobble, they're back on track.
Yeah, Liam was saying before the race that he saw Boulder on the map and was scared that he was going to crash his drone again. So thankfully, I think he figured it out this week.
Yeah, thanks for the comments from everyone on. We definitely knew that drone crash was coming up last week, but it was nice that the drone is still in good shape and active for this race here. So leading out front of the subs, we've got Adam Gerbrecht, came back in the race going side by side with Elias. Now you were on the boat, you're saying there was a lot more chatting than paddling going on with those two up at the front?
Especially when we got to the turn around under the power lines there, they're giggling the entire way through.
That checks out, two guys haven't seen each other in a while and they had to catch up. Probably frustrating for the people behind them that two guys can just catch up and chat while leading the race.
As long as you're not talking about a date with my sister, I think it's fine, but
yeah.
I need to...
Yeah, and Adam probably didn't know about that. We should make sure he's in the loop on that.
I know. Elias keeps asking me about it, but I keep shutting him down.
All right, we've got a little pack here. So that's Scott Wanless in the front there, Rod Hope on the left, Matthew Knight, and that one I think is Andreas. I can't tell who's in the back in the think there. Good group. It's still always nice, and we got someone on the side here who's maybe trying to get over there and get with that pack.
Yeah, we had a lot of sprint doubles, whatever doubles in the front there.
Yeah, the team coming out from the from Burnaby Canoe and Kayak Club.
Yeah, so we get a lot of them out here for most races. Yeah.
It's been awesome, and then they've been doing a push to get surf ski. We talk about sprint racing is really great at the junior level. But then once you kind of age out of the club format, there's there's less events, and surf ski is a great way to just keep paddling. We got Buzz in the V8 double. Look at him go.
I don't think I've ever seen Buzz in the back of the boat. He's always sitting in front.
So okay, maybe he likes it up there. Likes to set the pace. Who do we have there? Is that Jody? I think that's Jody Boats.
You know, the water is pretty choppy out here today.
Yeah, I think anything over at Kate's Park, we always get a little more action on the water. And then if the sun is out, then you get all the motorboat traffic, which just stirs everything up. So here's the turn at Maple Beach for those doing the shorter course, which is about a 5K course.
Say, what is that? Putnam? Or
It's called a dolphin, oddly enough, but yeah, it's just a big wood piling. At some point, they maybe tied off barges, or maybe there was a dock connected to it. I don't know the history on that one. There used to be a big birdhouse on it, an art installation birdhouse that was on there.
was it very active at all? Or
I don't know. I think it was more artsy than an actual habitat, but it was big enough that you could actually climb up and go in it.
okay.
You're not supposed to, but
Yeah, not to rat out Cam here, but I think he was saying that he used to jump off of it.
that could happen. There's Brad Heddle, nice, a little bit of wave action right at the turn.
Yeah. He's improved quite a lot. I remember his first race, he comes up to me and asks to make sure I get a lot of video of him. So been trying to do that over the years here, but
Yeah, it's great to see Brad out.
always has a smile on his face.
He sure does. We got Regina and Jillian, got a little battle here with the Think Zen and the Think Ace. We say battle when we talk about the competition, but it's all fun out there. There's Diane McQueen smiling away. Yeah, you start to get to know the racers, and you have your little targets. Everyone has their people that they would love to get closer to, or that they'd love to beat at some point, and that's great. Every week you come out and try to get a little bit better.
Do you have any stories of people like who weren't as good, but then were up in the leader groups near after a couple of years or so?
No, definitely. There's people, if they're committed, if you look back at some of the results from years past, you can see where people were when they started and where they are now, and it's pretty cool. Like that's the progress you want to see. It's pretty fulfilling to move your way up into that pack. I think about Matthew Knight, for example, one of our staff who started racing, and he's now moved his way into a new pack and has the potential to start maybe moving up to the next, start trying to hang on to that lead group.
Was that Big Daddy?
That's Big Daddy, yeah.
That's the only name I know him by.
Yep. Shauna McGowan, there's the cross draw turn, opting for the more stable. Same with Reagan. Maybe we need to do a buoy turn clinic for Reagan and Shauna. Get those kick turns going. Oh yeah, Reagan, we can do better than that, Reagan. Sheena leading the way, another cross draw turn. So coming up next week, we've got a buoy course for the SUP, so hopefully we're gonna see some more kick turns or pivot turns. Here's Simon, come on Simon. Oh, Simon, no step back for you either.
You practice that one with him quite a bit, no?
We do work on it, yep.
Look at you, you're dry.
There you go, Bailey.
Always waving at the camera.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh yeah, so I didn't get a very good shot of this. This guy was surfing in a sea kayak, which I never really seen before.
Absolutely, if you get the right boat wave, that's awesome. This looks like maybe it's a tugboat down one by. Look at that boat going there too. So that's always the dream, is the guys want to get out and do these races and hope that the right boat goes by at the right time. And I did hear that there was a tugboat that did go make an appearance and help the guys out a little bit. There's Isaac. Speaking of people getting faster and stronger, Isaac's definitely moving up as well. When we're coaching the kids, it's always fun to watch. They start as kids at maybe 9 or 10 years old, and then they start to grow, and they've got all the skills, and then suddenly they've got the strength. There, all the skills as Isaac falls in on the boat wave there.
Yeah, that whole family's been doing it for, how long now? Doubles?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Can't keep track. There's so many Nebbles and so many years, I don't even know anymore. Made a good shot there of Aaron Patterson. Aaron's back from, I think 9 months in Australia. Did lots of paddling, surf lifesaving. Looked like a pretty cool trip.
Yeah, so this is really where the chatting could be heard.
Oh yeah.
And then they were, I think there's a surf wave about to show up where they're having a bit of a competition on here. So how much do these skills translate over to actual surfing, or when I picture surfing?
It can definitely help, especially if if you start stand-up surfing. Helps with your balance and that, but to actually catch waves, you need to go out and catch waves, and that's always the hardest part. It's not so much the surfing; it's more of putting yourself in the right spot and getting that timing down. It is nice when you get a wave in the middle of the race to sort of break up the monotony of endurance racing.
Right.
You kind of forget you're paddling for a minute. Then the wave goes away and you realize how hard it is to just keep grinding.
Exactly, yeah.
In our lead pack, there's James. Speaking of competition, I know James, like the goal for James is always get closer to Robbie. Try to catch Robbie. Robbie's so strong. It was Scott in the Think 6 there. So you see, like for most people, they see the outrigger canoes and they all look the same, but there is a difference. So James and Robbie are in a V1, which doesn't have a rudder. So they've got to do all the steering and maneuvering with their paddle strokes, which definitely makes things, it's more engaging for sure, but also a lot more challenging, especially if you get waves and trying to control that boat without a rudder.
Is that like it's harder to turn on one side than the other, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely have sides, and obviously if you have the outrigger, you can trust that side a little bit more when you're paddling on that side if there's waves. There's Axel getting in the surf ski. So Axel's one of our sup racers, but he's been getting in the surf ski, getting ready to compete at the BC Summer Games I think that's next week in Kelowna. So yeah, you can see Robbie working with that pack of surf skis there, getting a bit of a draft. So in our championship races, we try not to draft out of class, but on a Tuesday night, you draft whoever you can, and it makes it a lot more fun when you can just get in there and compete with whatever craft is the same speed as you.
So that outrigger be easier to draft or harder to draft?
That one would be pretty skinny, but he's probably getting a good draft off the surf skis, which tend to be, put a pretty good wave there, but pretty similar, I think, in the end. I'd be curious. Let me know in the comments if you've got opinions on the difference in draftability with a V1 versus an OC1.
Yeah, so this guy, he built these surf skis, right?
Yeah, that's Paul and his cedar strip surf ski.
Those are pretty sweet. How much of a weight disadvantage does that give him?
That's a good question. I've never picked up that boat. Maybe we'll get someone give me a comment. How much weight is Paul pulling around in that cedar boat versus the carbon boats that everyone else is in?
Yeah, so I have a long clip of this guy. He was way behind this other pack here and just rode this wave all the way in. I don't know if he beat them, but he was hauling.
That's awesome. Look at that, dragging the hands. That's what we love. So that's what the gorge is all about, except it's bigger and never stops. So that's why the guys all head down there. But absolutely, if you can get the right wave at the right time in the course like this, then yeah, you can use it to pull you up to another group or pull away from people behind you.
Like, it's probably a pretty big advantage to learn how to surf like this.
Absolutely.
In a race,
like he doesn't even have to paddle and he's going faster than he was for the rest of the race. This is great shots.
Might be getting a little cocky here, but
love it. It's so happy right now.
yeah, I think Viv was trying to get some more pictures and stuff too on the boat there.
That's awesome that you can see dropping off the back there.
Yeah, man.
This Shane all by himself at the front.
Yeah, huge lead.
Yeah. So the hard thing with this course is when you're coming back from Port Moody, the sun is right in your eyes and you can't see the finish. Even though they all know where it is, they can't see it. So many racers were getting off the line, and then as soon as you get close enough that the sun's not in your eyes, then you can finally spot that finish. But it's not easy with that glare to see anything when you come back this way. Yeah, Shane's a little lonely out there without the usual competition at the front.
Here's that second double.
And that'll be one of the Calhouns in there. Can't see from the drone shot. Edward and Bosco, I think, looking at the results here.
So what are like the advantages and disadvantages to going double and solo here? I mean, Shane's out way ahead of these guys, but they're still two pretty good paddlers.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the paddlers, obviously, but generally, you know, if you put two strong paddlers in a double, they're going to be faster than a single. Depends on the boat, depends on conditions. These boats are designed for flatter water, so typically if the waves pick up, they're probably not going to do quite as well as they would if it was flat calm. Whereas this boat here is a little more designed to handle those waves. Yeah, it's the difference between sprint boats and the open ocean boats like surf skis.
So you have the GoPro on his head there. I still need that footage. Let's get some of that in the TNR videos
If you want to get your POV footage into the TNR video, then hit us up and we'll set up a link and you can give us some more footage.
So here's the big pack.
Yeah.
Now they're pretty spread out.
Spreading out, yeah. Scott's kind of pulling away in the front in that yellow boat, but Robbie's still right there in the V1. Yeah, this is the fun part, right? You get to the end of the race and you see what you've got left in you.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see some of these guys have a little more drive at the end there than others.
Yep. Yeah, and you gotta decide when to make the move. If it's too early, you might not have the gas to finish it. Too late, you don't have the time to get ahead. I know this was a tight finish because it was a little tough on the corner, like not only being able to not see the finish line, but also there's the angles of it are a bit tricky when two courses coming back from different angles.
Is the outrigger harder to pick up speed than a normal surf ski here?
I mean, your stroke rate tends to be a little lower, obviously, with only one blade versus two. There you go. Scott managed to get in for the finish. You can see Robbie trying to do some steering there because without the rudder, he can't just press his left foot and go where he wants to go.
Yeah, so this is the guy
That's Scott who was surfing that wave there. Maybe he was having too much fun.
Yeah. I don't think he was too far behind. I think the drone does him some disjustice here.
But he probably doesn't care because he got a great surf.
Yeah, he was having too much fun out there. Because, yeah, he went pretty far outside of the main route on the channel there.
Yeah, that's a decision you have to make when you're racing. You get these great waves, but if they're not sending you in the right direction, you got to decide, is it worth staying on this wave or do I need to get off it to stay online?
And once you're on a wave, is it almost hard to get off there?
It is. I mean, the wave wants to send you in a certain direction. Having a rudder on a surf ski definitely helps because you can control that direction a little bit more.
So here's the leaders for the surf skis here. Not surf skis.
The subs, yeah. Elias starting to pull away a little bit. There's Aaron, and we got Ron drafting in the back there.
So yeah, the water's tamed down quite a bit now. Or, a little bit.
It's cool to see Aaron and Ron. I don't know if it's because Elias and Adam didn't push too hard, but that's pretty close for Ron and Aaron to be right up at the front of that lead pack.
Elias is getting slow with age.
Yes, yeah, definitely slowing down now as he's approaching his 20s.
Yeah, he's weak and frail.
Yeah.
He's gotta do more training out in Vic.
Yeah. And Adam should basically retire because, he's like almost in his mid-20s, so
yeah,
it's probably time for him.
Just hang it up.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it looks like Elias is going to take the win there, but I think there's another sup that maybe crossed the line in front of him. Let's see if we get any shots of that. Great shots with the sun. Yeah, you can see how much glare that is when you're down at water level. It's even worse. So Elias turned on the jets, and looks like Adam decided it wasn't worth the go to try to stay with him.
Cam, our boat driver, lost his glasses like getting into the boat yesterday, so he was struggling to see the whole time.
A rough day for Cam. When he cut his leg,
almost lost his shoe too. Yeah.
So here goes Elias on the sprint, but out here I am on the blue board, pulling out in front, taking the win. Yeah, I got him.
I finally got your justice there.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't beat Elias all year, but it was nice to take that one down. All right, everyone, thanks a lot for watching, and see you next week for another one. Buoy course at Cates Park. Haven't determined what the long course is going to be for our surf ski and OC paddlers yet, but we'll put something fun together, and thanks for watching.